Hey everyone, it's Joopy Josh here. So Liz Cheney has interviewed with 60 Minutes. Let me see when this clip was made because I feel like it's not that long ago. It was 2 days ago. So this is not the full interview. This is just a 2-minute clip of it. This is called Isolationism is Very Dangerous. We're going to play the clip and react.
You do seem to be out of step with the Republican. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about where the Republican Party is heading right now, on foreign policy, for instance. And you're promoting a kind of globalism that the Republicans represented back when your father was in government. And now...
The fact that the Republican Party was ever globalist amazes me. The fact that the Republican Party ever thought we needed to meddle in every other country's affairs amazes me. And then I remember that George Bush is technically a Republican, so I guess that doesn't amaze me as much as I thought.
The Republican Party is an America First party. And, you know, you're not, forget Trump for a moment, you're out of sync with where this party's heading.
Well, there are a wide variety of views in our party on national security policy. I believe that isolationism is very dangerous.
No. Globalism, meddling in every other country's affairs, is dangerous. Because if we allow our troops to go into these death camps in Afghanistan, in Iran, and Iraq for no reason, we are leading them into death. We are leading our troops who gave their lives, because we have not drafted anyone in however long, gave their lives for our country. And we are leading them into death after they sacrificed everything and offer to sacrifice everything for our country. That is insane. It is insane that Republicans think it is okay for us to sacrifice our American troops for other nations. Nations that don't join our draft. Nations that don't serve in our military. Nations that don't pay our taxes. Nations that don't fund anything that we do in our country. Nations that we fund their military. We give away billions and billions of dollars every year to militaries across the globe. For what? Globalism is a threat, not only to the Republican Party, but to the country. Because thinking like this, saying that isolationism is very dangerous, is insane. Isolationism will protect our troops. Isolationism will make sure that we have a country to go home to. That they have a country to come home to when they're done serving in these death camps.
It's wrong. I wrote an entire book with my dad about American exceptionalism and about the role that America has to play in leading the world. I don't believe that that's globalism or globalization. It's American leadership. That if America isn't leading, if America is not setting the rules of the road, the Chinese, the Russians, other powers who don't believe in freedom, who, if you look at what kind of a world would exist if the Chinese were in charge, it would be a global surveillance state.
Take global out, put national in, and you have the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act that her vice president, her father was the vice president under when that was put into law. So a global surveillance state isn't okay if it's by China or Russia, but as long as it's a national security state, as long as the government can request a phone record from a call from a private journalist for any reason, or a private anyone for any reason, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. We're completely okay with that. You can't be anti-security state globally, but not nationally.
So America has to lead, and that forms my foreign policy views.
Isn't that what President Biden is trying to do right now?
Well, he's not doing a very good job if that is what he's trying to do. If you look at what's happened in Afghanistan.
Before she goes on, I do agree with her partially when it comes to Afghanistan. I believe President Biden failed at his withdrawal. I believe we should have gotten the American people out, the American citizens out, before we got the, sorry, I thought I heard my phone vibrate, but my phone's right up there. Before we got the government from the other countries out, before we got not the government from the other country, before we got the people of the other countries out, before we got our troops out, we should have gotten the American citizens first. And I agree with her there, but I also think that we should have been withdrawn like 10 years ago, and she doesn't think that whatsoever. She thinks we should still be in Afghanistan, nation building for the end of time.
The devastation of the decision to withdraw, the devastation of the way it was carried out, the abandonment of our allies across the board, the abandonment of American citizens in Afghanistan. The message that that sends to the world is you can't count on America. America won't even defend her own citizens. We won't even make sure we get every American out. I mean, the damage of that decision will be impacting us for many, many years to come.
So, it's not Americans' job. It's not the job of American troops, it's not the job of the American government to be someone that other countries can trust. I mean, I'm saying we shouldn't go burning every bridge we have with our allies. But I'm saying our first goal should not be to make sure that if Afghanistan needs us, the Taliban government needs us, then we're right there. America can stand up for our own people, and other countries should be able to do the same. But they can't. They fail. They fail at that terribly. So here we have a war hawk who's been in office way too long, who's a generational politician, pretty much saying that if you are America first, you are anti the world. You are anti-war, obviously, but you're anti-American exceptionalism. She literally threw that out there. You're not pro-American exceptionalism if you're America first. This is an elected Republican, by the way. And Harriet Hagman isn't any better. From what I can understand, Harriet Hagman is not any better. I'll look into her a little more if you guys want me to make a video about that. But yeah, that is my take on this clip by Liz Cheney. I might react to the whole interview here very soon. It's like 13 minutes long on 60 Minutes. We might have to react to that, but I'm probably going to get a copyright claim from this, so go to Rumble, rumble.com/GOPjosh.com/show, click the Rumble button. I don't know my Rumble link. All right, stay tuned.